What's up, Canes fans? Peter Ariz here checking in after this Canes Hoops game on the road. Miami falls to Virginia Tech 86-85, and it was a heartbreaker. Miami battled in this one. Second game, of course, after Jim Larinaga has stepped aside and Bill Courtney has been running the show for the Hurricanes. And Miami, again, really played hard here, leaning on a lot of youth here for scoring. Shout out to Matthew Cleveland, leading the team in scoring with 21, and he's averaged 21 and a half in his last 3 games before this. So he's really stepped up the last few games, but Canes have now lost 10 of their last 11 here. And it's been a really rough stretch coming from last season as well, where they had a horrible run in the ACC. And I think all of this led, obviously, to Larinaga's resignation. But looking at the team this year for the remainder of the season here in the ACC, we really want to try to hang on to some of this young talent. And look, new coach, there's going to be a lot of moving pieces. But at the end of the day, if you can at least say, man, the Austin Swartz of the world, the Isaiah Johnson Arrigus, hold on to some of these things and say, all right, we can build Divine Ugochukwu, of course, who had 7 points today, but continues to really impress. 7 assists as well. So 7 assists, 7 points, a steal. But if you watch these games, you see the burst that he plays with. And I know a lot of people getting on here talking about, are big fans of the football side of things, but this is our basketball post-game show, and all of the basketball content is brought to you by Ariz Law. And check out the website here, arizlawpa.com. Yes, this is my dad. Everybody, if you couldn't tell by now, as I've brought this up a few times, but listen, guys, he specializes in estate planning. So wills, trusts. If you're someone who is a parent, a grandparent, has a family, you got to plan your future, and there's no one better than Ariz Law. So schedule a consultation completely free here in Miami, Coral Gables area. So go check him out, completely free consultation, and he can get you ready for your future. So again, all the basketball content brought to you by Ariz Law. Check out his website there. So basketball, that's what this show is about now. Obviously, a big football day today for Miami. Alex Bauman at tight end committing, Ethan O'Connor at corner. 2 of the biggest pickups so far in the transfer portal for Miami. Been a really, really quality class. We'll break all that down on Canes Insight this week, D Money and I. So looking at this basketball game, looking at the box score, again, Matthew Cleveland's been on fire lately. 7 of 11 today. Really efficient. Have really liked his assertiveness, and this is what we've been looking for from him. So, maybe a little too late in terms of team success, but for him, really good to see him playing like this. Jaleel Bethia, one of his best games, probably his best game. I don't know if it's his highest scoring game, even if it's not his actual highest scoring game by the numbers, which I think it is, but 15 points today and way more efficient. 3 for 4 from 3-point range, 6 for 9 from the field altogether. He had a quick little mid-range jump shot off of a missed free throw from someone that you had a lot of time on the clock he could have taken, but he made it. So you like to see the confidence and the mentality of him when he had that open look. It was like 3 minutes left in the game, and he hit it. So Canes Cats Heat 305 says, what did we do to deserve this? Man, I said it a couple days ago on a show earlier this week when we were talking basketball. I don't know if we sold our soul the last few years here with the Elite Eight and the Final Four. We might have just sold our soul to the NCAA devil. And I don't know, man. Listen, excited about this coaching search, excited about the rest of the season here. They're playing hard. So unfortunately, they're not winning games. And the tournament, unless they win the ACC tournament, is out of the picture. I would think, unless they go on some crazy run here. But you like to see them playing hard. And again, a lot of young guys getting minutes. So for me as a fan, who I will be there next year, regardless of the situation this year, it's fun to see some of this stuff. And will these guys be here next year? I don't know, but it'll be a clean slate next year for a lot of guys. So gonna keep going through this box score here. Austin Swartz, 12 points. Canes Cat C305 says he wasn't very good defensively. And look, that's part of the growth process for a freshman, but he's a shot maker, and we've been lacking that so much the last 2 years since Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller left Miami, obviously. So to me, yes, the defense is a work in progress, but he's physically gifted. He's a good athlete. He's strong. He's quick. A lot of defense comes down to effort. Is it all there for him right now? Maybe not, but I don't think he's too far off from being, a really, really good player for us. Zach Lesnar says, who do you think stays on the current team next year? Who's even worth keeping? Listen, I think there's more guys that are worth keeping than you think. I would love to have all of these freshmen back. Every single one of them. I would love to have AJ Staten McCray back, a guy who he's had some ups and downs, but I like his length and defensive ability. Paul Joe Bay is listen. If you're going to bring in probably a new coach, if it's not someone who has ties to Miami, obviously there's going to be a lot of guys who probably leave. But Devon Ugochukwu looks like a really, really nice building block for this team moving forward at point guard if he continues to develop as a shooter. Lynn Kidd and Brandon Johnson are they don't have any more eligibility after this. Matthew Cleveland as well. Isaiah Johnson Arrigu, limited minutes so far this season, but he's a true freshman that physically looks really, really good. D-Money and I were out of practice. He's a guy who he hasn't shown that he's a three-point shooter, but has a good stroke, looks confident, again, in practice, but it's got to translate to the games. He's young. I think with more minutes, that confidence will come. Austin Swartz offensively has a nice repertoire to his game. He has the jump shooting ability. He can get to the cup, but he's got to continue to play within the offense, right? And do more than just be a scorer. So I think there's some building blocks here, but you bring in a new coach, they're going to probably want to overhaul the roster completely. Canes Cats Heath 305 saying these freshmen can't play much defense. Look, he says Divine's lost on defense. I think the team defense has not been great, but individually, Divine is someone who has the ability to be a good defender. Unfortunately, some of the guys who are on this team, they just don't have the athletic prowess to like physically be a good defender. Divine is someone who's quick. He's long. He's pretty strong for a freshman, right? We see he's got good basketball IQ. He's got a good sense out there for someone who is playing in, Miami right now is 14 games into the season. So he's less than 15 games into his collegiate career. He looks like someone who can play. There's a lot of confusion. Obviously, that's been an issue for 2 years here at Miami. So, look, tough situation for these guys. With the coaching situation, I don't know who's going to stay. I have no idea, right? So we'll see what happens. But we're going to keep doing these post-game shows. Again, Aries Law PA, shout out to them. Check out the website. And again, estate planning, wills, trusts, all of that. You need to plan your future. If you're a parent, your grandparent, someone with a family. So, yeah, Canes Cat C305 says he can drive to the paint good. And he says that's about it. But, man, that's a skill set that we've been lacking on this team. You have a lot of guys who are good shooters on paper, right? And I was listening to Cody Kimball doing the interview, the assistant interview on 560 after the game. It used to be Bill Courtney. Obviously, he's taken over now as the head coach. But Cody Kimball says historically, a lot of these guys are really good three-point shooters. And that's what I've been saying all year. Like the three-point shooting today, Miami shot, what was it from three today? I mean, you shot 47% from three today, way better. So you score 85 points defensively, still didn't get many stops or didn't get important stops. End of the game, you had other points of the game. You were up by 7 there in with 4 or 5 minutes left in the game as well, and you couldn't really close it down. So the three-point shooting is way better today, and I think as the season goes on, they will get back to that because, man, Brandon Johnson was like near a 40% percent shooter at East Carolina. He's really struggled from three this year. Matthew Cleveland has been on fire the last few games here, and he's someone that I think we'll see him continue to have a strong ACC play and end to the season. AJ State McCray, would love to see him become more consistent as a shooter there. Jalen Blackman, the doesn't seem like the confidence has been there for him. 4 points today, coming over from Stetson as a top 15 scorer in the country. So you would think he's got it in him, which he does, but takes a step up here, different role. He's not the man right now. And I think that's been a bit of a difficult adjustment for him. So hopefully he can get it together and become a big part of this team moving forward. But it's been a tough situation, man. And I'm trying to look on the optimistic side of who can you build on moving forward. There's a few guys, but this team was not really constructed in the best way as we continue to see here. And it's been on an unfortunate run as you've lost 10 of your last 11. And then last season, just disaster in ACC play. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got today. Appreciate everyone who was on with us. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Aries Law. Once again, thank you for sponsoring these basketball shows. And we'll be back. But a lot of football stuff coming. Stay tuned. I think there might be more movement this evening. Let's see. We've had 2 commits today. Don't know if we're done yet. So keep it locked on Canes Insight. Go Canes.